Antoine Griezmann joined Barcelona in 2019 for an astounding €120 million. He went from being one of the world's best players to one of football's biggest flops and became hated by a fanbase that once adored him. Since then though, he's returned to Atletico Madrid and re-established himself amongst the best in the world, and in this video we'll be looking at the redemption of Antoine Griezmann. His footballing journey began at Real Sociedad, where he showed promise early on. Over the course of 5 years, he made 202 appearances for the club, scoring 52 goals in the process. Each season he looked better and better, and in his final season he scored 16 goals and got 4 assists in the league. At just 23 years old, Griezmann was one of the best forwards in La Liga, causing the reigning La Liga champions Atletico Madrid to splash €30 million on him in the summer of 2014. It was an exciting signing, but nobody could have predicted he'd go on to become their all-time top goalscorer. His Atletico career got off to a flying start, scoring 22 league goals in his debut season, earning himself a spot in the La Liga Team of the Year ahead of the likes of Neymar and Luis Suarez. Griezmann showed no signs of slowing down, with the following season being the best of his career at that point in time. Scoring another 22 goals in the league, he propelled Atletico to a 3rd place finish, 3 points behind Barcelona in 1st, and was also crowned La Liga's Player of the Year. That same season he scored crucial goals against Barcelona and then Bayern Munich, leading his side to the Champions League final. But Atletico would ultimately lose on penalties to their rivals Real Madrid. He joined up with the French national team after this for Euro 2016 and kept up his stunning form. He guided France to the final, scoring more goals than any other player and winning player of the tournament. However, things would end in heartbreak as France lost to Portugal, meaning he ended the season trophyless. Despite this, his stellar performances throughout the year saw him finish 3rd in the 2016 Ballon d'Or and also be named French Footballer of the Year. Griezmann had quickly become a fan favourite at Atletico, and a couple years later, he'd have the biggest year of his career. He spearheaded Atletico Madrid to the Europa League trophy, playing a pivotal role in their semi-final win versus Arsenal and scoring a brace in the final versus Marseille. This saw Barcelona heavily push for his signature, but he publicly rejected them in a half-an-hour documentary titled La Decision, which aired live on TV. Just days later, the 2018 World Cup began, with him proceeding to be one of France's standout performers as they won the World Cup, being awarded the bronze ball and the silver boot, as well as the Man of the Match award in the final for his 3 goal contributions against Croatia. Griezmann had firmly cemented his place as one of the greatest players in the world, finishing 3rd in the Ballon d'Or once again come the end of the year. A few months later, it was announced that he'd be leaving Atletico Madrid after 5 seasons, and shortly after, he joined their rivals Barcelona, infuriating Atletico supporters with them defacing his plaque outside their stadium. There were massive expectations from this move, but Griezmann failed to live up to them, and the transfer marked the start of his decline. The reception from Barcelona fans was mixed from the start. They felt insulted they had said no to them the year before, and many disagreed with the club's decision to spend €120 million on the 28-year-olds. It didn't help that his performances took a turn for the worse as well. Messi occupied the position he preferred to play, and he no longer had as much freedom on the field. On his return to Atletico Madrid's ground, he was met with hostility, with the Spanish league having to denounce the club after some fans chanted "Die Griezmann" early in the match. He ended his 1st season with Barcelona with just 9 goals in La Liga, his 1st time failing to score double digits since the 2011-12 season, and also didn't win any trophies. Griezmann's discontent with the club began to grow, and he even threw shade at manager Ronald Koeman after playing in his preferred position with France, stating the coach knows where to put me, so I take advantage of the situation. It was as clear as day that Griezmann wasn't enjoying his time at Barcelona, and the fans weren't impressed either, with the Frenchman not living up to the massive amount of money invested in him. Things did improve towards the end of his final season, scoring 7 goals in their last 11 La Liga matches and playing an important role in their Copa del Rey victory, but his reputation had already taken a big hit. The summer of 2021 approached, and Barcelona was in the midst of a financial crisis, meaning players like Griezmann had to be offloaded. Fortunately for Barcelona, Atletico Madrid came knocking, re-signing Griezmann on a 1-year loan deal with an option to extend by a year, as well as an obligation to buy depending on certain circumstances being met. Just like last time, Griezmann was joining an Atletico side that had won the league, but this time he wasn't met with as warm of a welcome. Although he was the top scorer in all 5 of his seasons at the club, his betrayal a few years earlier saw him rebooed by many of Atletico's own supporters in his 1st game back at the Wanda Metropolitano. He initially struggled to adapt and proceeded to miss a portion of the season through injury, and when he did play, he lacked in output, getting 3 goals and 5 assists in 29 league appearances, which was completely unlike the Griezmann of the past. However, things finally clicked in the 2022-23 season. He had 9 goal contributions in the opening 14 La Liga games, despite only starting 7 of them, before leaving mid-season to join France at the 2022 World Cup. He was one of the most consistent players at the tournament, playing deeper in midfield to make up for Pogba's absence and thriving, being France's main playmaker and having a crucial role in their journey to the final. France may have lost out in the final to Argentina, but Griezmann's confidence had been restored and his redemption arc was in full force. When he returned to Atletico, manager Diego Simeone used him in a role similar to the one he played at the World Cup and made a few other tweaks to make the side more attacking. This completely changed Atletico's Atletico's fortunes. Before the World Cup, they were 5th in the league and had also crashed out of Europe, finishing last in a Champions League group. After these changes though, they only lost 3 league matches for the remainder of the season, 2 of those being to title-winning Barcelona. Griezmann was key to this turnaround in form with his 32 goal contributions in La Liga, getting the same number of league assists as Kevin De Bruyne and Ballon d'Or winning Lionel Messi, and was also La Liga's 4th highest scorer. The 2023-24 season soon approached, and Griezmann has been outstanding so far, ranking amongst the top for the most goals and assists. Recovering from his dark days at Barcelona was no easy task, but Griezmann has pulled through and is currently one of the best players in world football. The Atletico fans who once hated him for his betrayal once again adore him, with him overtaking club legend Luis Aragonés as Atletico Madrid's all-time top goalscorer. The 32-year-old may have never won a league title in his career, but he's undoubtedly one of the greatest players of his generation, and his redemption has been a sight to see.